People keep saying you've got limiting beliefs, energy blocks, childhood trauma, karma, and that's why your manifestations aren't working. But let me tell you the truth. There is actually only one real block in manifestation, and it's not what you think. Hi, I'm Mohammed. Welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you here. Look, today we're cutting through all the noise. Seriously, I see so many people getting tangled up in this web of spiritual complications, thinking they need to fix a million things about themselves before they can have what they want. It's exhausting, and honestly, it's just not true. In this video, I'm gonna break down the only real block that stops people from manifesting, why all the other so-called blocks are just noise, and how you can break through it starting today. I'm not just talking theory here, I'm talking about the one fundamental shift that, once you get it, makes everything else click into place. It's the difference between trying to manifest and actually living the life you want. Guys, I'm not here to give you fluff, so watch this video all the way through, because this one insight could change how you manifest forever. Also, before we dive deep, I've got a free ebook for you called The Magic of Affirmations. It'll show you how to use affirmations the right way to align your subconscious with wealth and abundance. It's a powerful tool to help you with what we're about to talk about. You can grab it for free in the description below. My gift to you. Alright, let's get into it. So, you've been on this journey for a while, right? You've probably heard it all. You've been told you have a scarcity mindset. You've been told your chakras are blocked. Someone probably told you that you need to heal your inner child, resolve past life karma, or clear ancestral trauma before you can attract that loving partner or that extra $10,000 a month. The list of potential blocks is endless. You've got people telling you, I'm not worthy of success, or I'm unlovable, and that these are the core reasons things aren't working out. I'm telling you, it's become a massive industry. An industry built on making you feel like you're broken, like you're a project that needs endless fixing. They sell you courses, healing sessions, retreats, all designed to help you clear these so-called blocks. And what happens? You spend months, maybe even years, digging through your past, analyzing every little thing that ever went wrong, trying to pinpoint the exact moment you developed a limiting belief about money. And after all that digging, are you any closer to your goal? For most people, the answer is no. They're just more aware of their problems. They've become experts on their own trauma. But they're still broke. They can tell you all about their attachment style, but they're still single. Listen, folks, I'm not saying that self-awareness is bad or that healing isn't valuable. It absolutely is, for your overall well-being. But to frame it as a prerequisite for manifestation, that's where they get it wrong. It's the biggest misunderstanding in the entire game, and it's keeping so many of you stuck in a loop of self-improvement without ever actually improving your life. Here is the raw truth. The only block that actually exists in manifestation is inconsistency of identification. That's it. That's the whole secret right there. It's not your trauma. It's not your bad vibes, it's not your limiting beliefs, it's the simple fact that you haven't decided who you are and stuck with it. You keep slipping back into the identity of your old self. You don't manifest what you want, you manifest who you are. And if you're inconsistent with who you are, your reality will be inconsistent too. Let me break this down because it's so important. Your reality, everything you see around, your bank account, your relationships, your health, is a mirror reflecting your self-concept. It's a reflection of the person you believe yourself to be, deep down. Not the person you want to be, but the person you are being, day in and day out. So, when you decide you want to manifest more money, what you're really deciding is that you want to become a person who has more money. You want to shift your identity from someone who is struggling to someone who is abundant. And for a little while, you do it. You do your affirmations, you visualize, you feel grateful. For an hour, maybe a whole day, you successfully hold the feeling, the identity of being wealthy. You walk around feeling like the person who has the money in the bank. You think thoughts that a wealthy person would think. But then, something happens. You get an unexpected bill in the mail. You check your bank account and see it's lower than you thought. A client pays you late. And what do? You slip. You immediately snap back to the old identity. The identity of the person who worries about bills. The person who stresses about their bank balance. The person who says, "See, it's not working. I never have enough money." Boom, that's the block. It was that moment of reversion. It was the inconsistency. You abandoned your new identity, your new self-concept. The moment the 3D world showed you something contrary to it, you let the reflection in the mirror dictate who you are, instead of holding your new identity so firmly that the mirror has no choice but to change its reflection. The spiritual community has this backward. They tell you that you reacted that way because you have a limiting belief or trauma around money. They tell you to go and heal that reaction. But I'm telling you, the reaction only has power because you identified with it. You accepted it as your truth. Trauma, guilt, fear, bad vibes, they are just stories. They are memories. They are echoes. They only have power over your present reality if you continue to identify with them. Your reality responds to your identity, not your baggage. Think about it like this. Imagine you decide you're going to get in shape. You want to be a fit, healthy person. So, you buy new gym clothes, you eat a salad for lunch, and you go for a run. For that day, you are identifying as a fit person. You're being that person. The next day you wake up and you're sore, it's raining outside, your friend invites you out for pizza, the old self-identity starts whispering in your ear. Just skip the day. You can start again tomorrow. One pizza won't hurt. You're not really a fitness person anyway. The moment you agree with that voice, you've slipped. You've become inconsistent in your new identity. The real work isn't the running, it's the mental discipline to keep identifying as a fit person even when it's uncomfortable. Even when there is temptation, even before you see the results in the mirror. This is why self-trust and consistency are the absolute keys. Manifestation is a game of persistence. It's about trusting yourself enough to stay consistent with the new story you are telling. Even when, and especially when, Your external evidence hasn't caught up yet. It's about maintaining that elevated identity. Let's talk about money again because it's a big one for so many people. I know a guy, let's call him David. David was earning a decent salary, but he was always just getting by. He wanted to manifest what he called financial freedom, which to him meant an extra $5,000 a month coming in from his side business. He did all the techniques, vision boards, scripting, affirmations, and he'd have moments of feeling really abundant. He'd feel like the guy who was making that extra money. But then his car would break down, and he'd immediately think, of course, every time I get a little ahead, something comes along and takes my money. He was constantly slipping back into the identity of the guy who can't get ahead. His reality was just reflecting that inconsistency back to him. He'd get a new client and then lose another one. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I told him, David, stop trying to fix your money mindset. Stop digging for blocks. Just make one decision. You are now the version of you that earns $5,000 a month extra, period. And you don't get to be the other guy anymore. I told him to get brutally honest with himself. How would that version of him think? How would he feel when a bill came? He'd probably just pay it, knowing more money was on the way. How would he talk to his friends about his business? He'd speak from a place of success, not hope. He had to practice being this new person all day, every day. It wasn't about faking it. It was about adopting a new self-concept as his reality. When a negative thought came up, he wasn't supposed to analyze it or heal it. He was just supposed to say, that's not who I am anymore. The old David thought that. The new me knows money flows to me easily. It was hard at first. His brain was so wired for the old identity. It felt like he was lying to himself. But he persisted. He kept choosing the new identity over and over. He refused to slip. If he had a bad hour, he didn't let it become a bad day. He just got back to being the new him. And what happened? Within about 2 months, things started to shift. Not overnight, but consistently. He landed a massive new client that put him over his goal. Opportunities seemed to come out of nowhere. His external reality had finally caught up to his consistent internal identity. He didn't clear any trauma. He didn't heal any single limiting belief. He just stopped giving the old story his attention. He stopped being that person. This applies to everything, folks. When a loving relationship, you have to stop identifying as the person who is lonely, unwanted, or always gets cheated on. You have to start being the person who is loved, cherished, and secure. How would that person carry themselves? How would they spend their evenings? They probably wouldn't be desperately sweeping on dating apps or stalking their ex. They would be enjoying their own life, feeling whole and complete, knowing their partner is on their way. They trust the process. They embody the identity of being loved. When you do that consistently, you become a vibrational match for a partner who will reflect that love back to you. Want to get fit? Stop identifying as the unhealthy person trying to get fit. Just decide you are a healthy person. What does a healthy person do? They make choices that align with health. They move their body because it feels good, not as a punishment. They eat nutritious food because they value their energy. It becomes a part of their identity. The physical results are just the byproduct, the shadow of that internal shift. Look, I'm telling you, the whole spiritual marketplace wants to make this complicated. They want you to believe you're a mess, that you're full of blocks that need a guru or a healer to fix. It's a business model that thrives on your feeling of being incomplete. But you are not incomplete. You are not broken. You are the creator of your reality. And all that is required of you is to choose who you want to be and then have the self-discipline and trust to stick with it. The only work is to be consistent in your new state of being. That's it. Decide on the new identity. Affirm it and then stick with it until it feels completely normal. Persist in the assumption that you are already that person. Your imagination is the only reality. What you assume to be true, if persisted in, will harden into fact. When you slip, and you will, especially at the beginning, don't beat yourself up. Don't go looking for a block to blame. Just notice it and gently, firmly guide yourself back to the new identity. Say, nope, that's the old story. This is who I am now. Every time you do that, you are strengthening the neural pathways of the new self. You are rewiring your brain and your energy to match your desired reality. That uncomfortable feeling when you first start, that feeling of faking it, that's not a sign you're doing it wrong. That's the feeling of your old identity dying. It's the friction between who you have been and who you are becoming. Lean into it. That's where the transformation happens. Before the big shift, there is often a period where the old you dissolve, and it can feel messy. That's a part of the process too. So please, stop trying to fix 1,000 blocks that don't exist. You don't need more healing. You just need more consistency, more self-trust, more willingness to be the person you want to be right now without any external validation. The only block is slipping out of character. Your job is to stay in character, the character of the wealthy, loved, healthy, successful version of you. Hold that state. Live from that state and watch as the world rearranges itself to match it. And before we wrap this up, don't forget to grab your free copy of The Magic of Affirmations in the description. It'll help you lock in the right mindset and keep you consistent with your new identity. It's a practical tool to support this exact process. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate you for being here. More videos like this are coming, so stick around. Whether you like, comment, or subscribe is totally up to you. But just know, this channel is all about cutting through the noise and showing you the raw truth about manifestation. And trust me, what's coming next is gonna open your eyes even more.